For the prepared speakers, Toastmaster Jay took 7 minutes and 07 seconds. Akshay Singh took 7 minutes and 55 seconds. Toastmaster Sita took 7 minutes and 15 seconds.
Thank you so much,
two are qualified.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And now we'll move to the highlight of All Elite Advanced Toastmasters Club meetings, the evaluation sessions, the detailed evaluation sessions. And for that, it's my privilege to welcome the man who needs no introduction, distinguished Toastmaster Arvind Nair.
Thank you. Toastmaster of the day. As general evaluator, I must say I'm quite euphoric listening to all that the club is doing and the presentation that was just done about the website. That's a great achievement, I must say, for the All Elite Advanced Toastmasters Club. As my role of the general evaluator, it's my task to view the meeting as a whole and suggest any improvements that are required to make this advanced club perform better. We will start with the evaluation of the prepared speeches. And for that, may I invite the timer to give the timing guidelines, please.
Today, we'll be having a single evaluator for delivery evaluation as well as content evaluation. So the timing will be 4 to 5 minutes each. At the end, for Toastmaster Sapna, Toastmaster Atul would be evaluating her speech evaluation. That timing will be 2 to 3 minutes. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Arvind.
Thank you, Prachi. And now may I invite the evaluator for the first speech to please come on stage and give the evaluation.
Sure. Thank you so much for that, General Evaluator. My network is a little unstable. So in case if you hear, if I freeze, please do call it out. If I'm able to hear, then I can, repeat what I've said. Welcome, ISC. The title itself reciprocates or resonates so much to the spirit of being a Toastmaster. International Speech Contest is the heartbeat of every Toastmaster. And being a Toastmaster, I know that how we all strive to be or dream to be at that World Championship of Public Speaking stage. That's where we all want to be one day. Well, getting into the content of your speech, Toastmaster Jay, I like the way you had prepared an elaborate plan of 30 days and you had set a very smart target for yourself of excelling at the club level. Your stellar performance, which will help you to win that winner certificate at the club level. Your plan included delivering speeches for 30 days, seeking feedback from your two mentors, and yes, also at the club level during your speeches. I also like the way you had kept a diary consisting of all your feedbacks from the last 3 years and how you spoke with conviction that you're going to go ahead and ensure that you incorporate all the feedbacks that you've received in the last 3 years to this final, I think the most important speech of your life. What I felt you could have improved in your content was I was waiting to know or listen from you that how you incorporated the feedback that you received in the last 3 years in all of the speeches that you have delivered till date. That was something which never came out because that would have really helped me to understand how Jay was before as a speaker when he started off his journey as a Toastmaster 3 years before and how Jay has improved today. I think those strong points of your improvement should have been incorporated in your speech. The second most important thing is that if you are going to go ahead and prepare an ISC, a winning international speech contest speech, I wanted to know the steps, what all you're going to do, what topic you're going to select. How do you think that's going to motivate people? Is it going to be a personal story? Is it going to be a story that has motivated you? I wanted to know all of that. That was something which was missing in your speech. Now moving into the delivery content. I like the confidence in your voice. It's clearly audible, and the way you stood and you delivered the speech, that was really good. I also like the use of diary as a prop, which enhanced the quality of your speech and the delivery of the speech. Now, moving on to areas of improvement for you. Your hand gestures. Now, just like you, I also have a problem. I can't keep my hands on the side. And I know a lot of a professional this that you're not
Your voice is
confident.
cracking, Sapna.
Something, is
Your
it
last
better
attempt
now?
was
Should I put
painful.
my
Yeah, you
okay?
can put your video off
Can I
maybe.
put my video?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, please.
fine. Yeah, thanks. So what I want you to do is improve your hand gestures, Jay. Try and keep your hands on the side. So when you're rehearsing your speeches, please ensure that you go ahead and you use the choreography that you're going to use on the stage when it comes to stage movement. How you're going to, how many steps to the left, how many to the right, how many steps forward, which hand you're going to use when. And also, I have seen this, which I have seen it in myself, so I can completely on the left side. Your entire speech today, your left hand was moving a lot and your right hand was like at one place. Even your left body was moving a lot. So I think when you're doing or when you're focusing on your speech delivery and your body language, please ensure that you go ahead and you work on your choreography as well. This is going to take a little bit of efforts, but doing it right in front of the mirror is definitely going to reap your results. Now, overall, when I talk about overall speech objectives, the objective for you today was to develop a communication plan. You had to come back and let us know that how you practice developing a communication plan. Now, if I talk about a communication plan, that means I wanted to actually listen as to probably there was some particular event that you were leading at your office or in Toastmasters or in your personal life. What was a communication plan that you came up with? Which means that how did you plan as to on what particular date you're going to inform what type of audiences, whether it's going to be verbal communication or written communication through social media posters, on what particular days were you going to go ahead and do a communication with a certain group of people. That is something which would have incorporated or in, that was a better communication plan speech or a project is what I would tell you. The plan should have highlighted the dates and activities that you would have planned to perform a communication with the audiences, and how the plan would have made an impact in the larger event. Now the idea or the objective was that either you should have done this or you were going to do it, which was completely missing out of the speech today. So I really feel that you did not meet the objective speech all. With this, I would like to end it and tell you that you're a passionate Toastmaster, and your goal is to win the ISC, and I hope that you win the ISC one day. However, for this particular project, you did not meet the objectives. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Sapna. And now may I invite our second evaluator to give this evaluation.
Rebuttal.
Okay, I'm
Arvind,
sorry.
30 seconds of rebuttal.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sai, may I have your 30 seconds of rebuttal, please? Your response. I'm sorry, that's not the right word to say, but could you respond to
No, it
what
could
was
be Jay, right? Not Sai.
Yeah, Jai,
Jai? I'm sorry, there are three
I
letters
agree
in that.
with the feedbacks, 100% agree. No point from my side. I will implement it. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you, Jai. And now may I invite the second evaluator to please give the evaluation of Akshay's speech. That's Sai.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator Arvind, for giving me this opportunity to evaluate our second speaker of the evening, Toastmaster Akshay Singh, who gave us a speech on the importance and the impact of networking in a certain aspect of his life, which helped him transform from being an introvert to being an extrovert. And what I loved about the speech was how true it felt, because it really felt that he was living those moments of being an introvert. That's, for example, the speech title, Connections Worth Thousands, Worth 100 Smiles. His subdued body language when he was describing his early days as a student at a college and how his friends were all boisterous and outgoing and he was not. Of course, he called somebody Mr. X. We all know who Mr. X is in the context of the speech now, but at the end of the speech, but I really appreciated the way he conveyed his introversion with his body. He was quiet, he was subdued, he was mellow, and it really came across that he was an introverted person. That was on the delivery and the overall presentation of the speech. Let's break it down into delivery and content and then the project objectives. In terms of delivery, Toastmaster Akshay opened his speech with a question, which again is a great way to connect the audience. He asked a question, the audience was made to think. He closed out that question in an adequate manner and moved on with his speech. His voice modulation was fantastic. There was a time when he had to say thank you, and he placed his hand on his chest, which is such a beautiful gesture to indicate that he's really feeling a sense of gratitude towards his audience when he's thanking them for whatever they did for him. I really appreciated that. And I think Toastmaster Akshay has done a wonderful job in using his body in some aspects. But of course, not everything is perfectly packaged in life. And I think where Toastmaster Akshay missed out was in his specifics. And I'm going to cover the specifics in much more detail, as I should, because I'm talking about specifics in the content section. But even for the body language, I felt there was a time when Toastmaster Akshay didn't lean into his body language. He had to say something about his interactions with the NGO. He had to say something about what he was thinking about his own interaction with his friends. His friends are refusing to give him money. And I did not see that effort from his side to make us live that moment with him, where he's asking his friends for money and his friends are saying, you know what, I can give you muscle power, I can give you elbow grease, but I can't give you money. It's the same way when he breaks out of his shell and he goes back to the NGO and asks for help on how to get things done. They tell him, you need to form a group and make them do the work. It lights a bulb in his head. And yeah, of course, that's how we should be actually doing it. And I think that is where Toastmaster Akshay took the easy way out. He was lazy. And I'm going to say this in the most harsh way possible, because I know he can do it. I can see his body language improving with every speech. I can see his voice modulation improving with every speech, but he has to jump to the next level. He has to lean into his body language for every aspect of the speech. He has to remember that we weren't there with him. We weren't watching him talk to the NGO. He has to make us live that moment with him. And that the only way he can do that is through body language, through looking differently, looking subdued, or looking angry because nobody's helping him. All those things would have made the speech much better, and he missed out on that. Now let's come to the content. And I'm really going to be harsh with Toastmaster Akshay here, because I think his content was awful. Let me give you an example. So there's this king, and he has a few sons and a daughter, and his wife has a disability, and he rules over a kingdom. And one day his kids' cousins, they come in and they say, we want to take the kingdom from you. And then stuff happens, and there's a big war, and then finally everybody is dead except the cousins survive, and then the cousins are sent to heaven, and some of the cousins die along the way, and then finally only one of them makes it there, and then with him is a pet. Now that's the kind of speech that Toastmaster Akshay gave. None of it had any specifics. For example, my story that I narrated is a story of Mahabharata. The king being Dhritarashtra with 100 sons and a daughter, his wife's disability being blindness, his cousins being the Pandavas fighting, asking him for a share of the kingdom, and everybody dying, and the 5 Pandavas are sent to heaven, and all that stuff happens. See, that is exactly where Toastmaster Akshay screwed up royally. There was somebody called X. Nobody cares about X. We need names, because people don't remember X's, they remember names. We know this speech is going to be about you, Akshay. Just go with it. I was the introvert in that story. Then you said, let's call this boy a particular program. What is a particular program? You need to be specific. If your speech does not have specifics, we have nothing to hang our hats on and say, oh yeah, I can recognize a professor. You didn't name the professor. You named what the professor taught. Well, what program you were part of, what NGO, what's the name of the NGO? Then his 2 or 3 close friends. What are your friends? Don't your friends have names? I think you should have gone with all those things, because specifics give weight to a story. If I told you a ship hits a block of ice and sinks, it's nothing. But if I tell you the Titanic hit the block of ice in the North Sea and it sank on January 12th, 1912, whatever, all those things, that makes the story more vivid. And that's where you missed out Toastmaster Akshay. But in terms of the project objectives, I think you met it. You explained to us how networking helped you. It worked. You went from an introvert to an extrovert. I think I'm going to give you that on the project objectives. But in content, I'm giving you a big fat 0. I'm being very specific. You had a big fat 0. Back to you, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Arvind, for the rebuttal.
Thank you. And Akshay, you have 30 seconds.
Yes, so I agree with the points made by Sai, and thank you. Even while I was delivering the speech, I felt like I have jumbled up the content because I am feeling very sleepy, so that is my bad. I should have either backed out of the speech, but then I had taken the slot, so I didn't want to do that. After this meeting, I'm just going to sleep. But yes, thanks, Sai. That content was really big fat zero. You can mention that because it got all jumbled up.
Okay, Akshay, thank you. And now may I invite Atul to give the evaluation for Sita's speech.
Thank you, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and Toastmaster Sitaraman. I got a reasonably good glimpse into the project Kartavya, which Toastmaster Sitaraman has undertaken and executed, and it was devoted towards Mother Earth. So he has undertaken a very noble project, and kudos to him. He has used all the skills he has learned so far as a mature Toastmaster. Whatever he said made a lot of sense to me. He was quite clear, and his message was clear. His information was very clear. And what I like most about his speech was the clean, the communication, leadership, or leading, and the anticipation. Now, let me split my evaluation into three parts: how to improve the content part, delivery part, and how well the project was aligned with the objective. I felt that those who have not listened to his first part of the speech, which was introduction to the project, might have struggled in the beginning what he's going to talk about. So I felt that he spent a significant time talking about his global head of initiatives, his senior, and how his interaction triggered into his emotional outburst and how it affected his project positively and negatively, whichever way. I thought he spent a lot of time on that interaction, which I think could have been utilized in sharing the experiences which he faced, the challenging experience that he faced while implementing the principles of clean, that is what were the challenges he faced while he was dealing with his fellow project members, when he was leading or when some of his members were co-leading certain aspect of the project, what were the challenges they were facing, and what were the what anticipation he had about the issues. So I felt that the speech sounded more like principles of management to me, rather than sharing his experiences, the challenging experiences that he faced. He could have given example of some, anecdotes or some instances in which his fellow members had faced some issues and they worked together to overcome that issue. He could have even given recognition to his fellow members, which is in line with a good leader. So I felt that though it sounded very well into the principles of management and how it tackles managing a project, but the content was not designed, or it was not delivered across the specifics of project, the statistics behind it, what was the domain under which he's working, who were the participants, and those who had not listened to his part A of the speech, that is introductory part, which I missed, probably they could have struggled to understand what it is all about. On the delivery part, I felt that his camera was below his normal chest level or breast level, and so he was looking down. Probably he could have positioned his camera at a proper level so that he is making a good eye contact with the audience. And I also could feel that the lighting arrangement that he had, it was putting a glare reflection on his specs. So I could not make out much of his eyeball movements. And third, I felt that he has a lot of things to say in a very short time. I could feel that he is running one after the other part of his speeches. So he had jammed so many things into this. Probably if he had stuck to his experiences around the project that is delivered, he could have dissected his project into the issues, how he overcome and how he implemented the various parts of the clean strategy that he always uses. It could have become more aligned with the objective. So this overall is my impression. Overall, it was a well-managed project, and we could get a very good bird's eye view. But when it comes to alignment with the objective, I was looking for some more specific examples involving his team members, how he used the principles of clean, where things were under-communicated, how he motivated his people. All those things were expected by me without linking it with the first part of the speech. All the best for your future speeches, Toastmaster Sita. Over to you, General Evaluator Arvind.
All right.
Thank you, Atul. And Sita, could we have 30 seconds for your
30 seconds.
response?
Yeah. So this was for me indeed a very complicated sort of dissecting my speech into two parts, and I did anticipate that some of the folks who have not listened to my first speech would have missed out. So that is why I consciously had to bring in some elements. And I was looking at, should I put in 3 or 2 or what sort of experiences? So somewhere I was struggling to, kind of getting it to the shorter, to completely meet the project objectives. Here and there I had given nuances, but it was indeed a challenging project for me to really stack up everything into it. I'm sure there's a lot of learnings. Thank you so much for your evaluation.
Thank you very much. And now may I invite the timer to give the time. Oh, we do have Atul to give his evaluation of Sapna's evaluation of the first speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arvind. Toastmaster Sapna was very, very analytical, motivational, methodical, and focused in her evaluation of Toastmaster Jay's speech. And she has given all the positive aspects of the speech delivered by Jay. For example, she was quite impressed with the diary part of it, then his 1-month plan, and the target to excel at the club level. So she was very motivational. However, on the delivery side, she has focused very well on, not overly using the hand gestures. And she had very well caught Jay that his objective or the project selection could have been better. The communication plan was more event-based, or how he rather project-based, as Toastmaster Sita Raman had done. So that communication plan to execute a particular event or to execute a particular project was her expectation. However, I will try to defend Jay. Communication plan could be a personal communication plan. It does not have to be a plan that you have to execute in front of the people. I can have my personal communication plan. So while she might be right on objective alignment, but I felt that if it is my personal communication plan, if I want to excel as an individual, and if I want to achieve it, why not individualize it? Why not personalize it? So I don't want to demotivate a speaker when it is coming to selecting a project. Okay, I do understand that Toastmaster Jay might be opportunistic. He had some speech ready and he's trying to align, but I will give him a benefit of doubt that I have not read the project objective fully, but if the communication plan does not specify that you cannot be personal, then I will give him a benefit of doubt. But that is only one observation which sounded a bit demotivating to me as far as Toastmaster Sapna's evaluation is concerned. Otherwise, she was very, very analytical, motivational, methodical, and focused towards all aspects of a good evaluation speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Arvind.
Thank you, Atul. And now may I invite, Sapna has get 30 seconds to say something.
No, I
Go
don't.
ahead.
Okay, so I just want to thank you so much for that, Atul. I was really scared. So one thing which I want to say that I did mention that Jay could have come up with a plan, a communication plan, which could have been official, personal, or even Toastmasters. What I really missed out, and I think I could not speak out clearly, was when Jay had himself said at the beginning of his speech that he wanted to have a smart communication plan. So when you have a smart communication plan in his entire speech, I did not see the number of times or the dates or probably the days that he's going to take in order to reach from one speech to the other, and how he's going to ultimately reach the goal of delivering the best international speech that he wants to. So I think that's something which I missed, but thank you so much for bringing that up. I should have considered that point. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sapna. And now, may I call upon Prachi to give the timing report, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arvind. Toastmaster Sapna took 5 minutes, 28 seconds. Toastmaster Sai took 5 minutes, 27 seconds. Toastmaster Atul took 5 minutes and 17 seconds for the evaluation of 3 speakers. Coming to the last evaluation of Toastmaster Sapna by Atul, he took 2 minutes, 45 seconds, which is well below the stipulated time. So all are qualified.
Oh, great. Are we having the voting link being put up for the prepared speeches? And
Later.
all right. Okay. And now may I invite the R counter for her report on the meeting.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Arvind. As a former Toastmaster, taking up an R counter role after 2 years felt like a challenging task. But now that I've made an attempt, let's see how the Toastmasters at All Elite Advanced Toastmasters Club fared on the R counter report. Speaker number 1, Toastmaster Jay, had 1 long pause. Lead coach Toastmaster Sapna, 3 hours. Lead coach Toastmaster Atul, 4 hours and 1 Toastmaster Falgunan, 1 Lead coach Toastmaster Sai, only 2 hours despite the fact that you had such a long time on screen. Toastmaster Ranjini, 2 arms, 1 and 1 long pause. As far as the role players are concerned, again, Toastmaster of the day, Mr. Kunal, had 4 hours, 1 whatever, and 1 so. Language evaluator, Toastmaster Nirmala, had 3 hours. The timer, Toastmaster Prachi, had 4 hours. Table topic master, Toastmaster Sachin, 3 hours. And finally, the general evaluator, Toastmaster Arvind, had 1 and 1 As far as the flawless speakers goes, congratulations, Toastmaster Akshay and Toastmaster Sita. Thank you. Over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Ankita. And now may I invite Nirmala to give the report for the grammarians report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arvind. Let me start with the good usages. Throw light on. Value the importance of time, else time will not value you. Lack of preparation can definitely increase chances of failure. Perfection in making mistakes. I mean, that's a new one. Well begin is half done. Helped or hindered. Connections worth 100 smiles. Wow, this is creative. Triggered an innate desire. Good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity. Lights, camera, and successful action. Every end is a new beginning. Living those moments of being an introvert. I mean, this is really creative. I enjoyed writing these. Not everything is perfectly packaged in life. Specifics give worth to a story and makes the story more vivid. So these are some good usage of sentences. Good words, there were many, but due to paucity of time, I will not talk about all of them. Few of them are eloquent, anticipate better, aspire for, euphoric, introversion, mellow, sense of gratitude, subdued, anticipate, consciously bring, nuances. Some wrong usages. Someone said welcome. It should be welcome. Aspect should be aspect or aspects. Repeated feedbacks. The word feedbacks were used repeatedly. Feedback is a plural. So it should be used as feedback and not feedbacks. Within a week's off time. Should be within a week's time. Staff must be staff. Career, no, carrier should be career. And this is something that Arvind has taught me. There is no very, very or much. Saying very, very doesn't make it more very. That is the explanation he would always give me. Thank you so much, Arvind. So it's just very. One very is enough. Word of the day was used by Kunal, Jay, Sita, and Sai. I don't know if I missed someone. My apologies. And just one advice to one of our Toastmasters here, Jay. Since you're attempting the ISC, I would request you to definitely improve your grammar and pronunciations. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster Arvind.
Thank you, Nirmala. And now for my general evaluation of the meeting. The meeting started on time with the Sergeant at Arms with the speech and also mentioning the mission. I would have loved if, Sai, you had a lesser pace. Do not say it so fast, because stating the mission, even though we are advanced members, members of an advanced club, it would be nice to say it softly, say it in a lesser speed so that the whole essence of the thing comes out. We do have a past Toastmaster here, and probably she is attending after quite some time, so she probably would have to know that the mission has changed from the time that she was a Toastmaster. So you could have done it at a lesser pace, because that has to come out. There are words that have changed. I like the way you asked Kunal to introduce some question to Kunal and then set the ball rolling for the meeting. Also, the presiding officer spoke about the club contest and reminded the house about the contest that is due, and also had the guests introduce themselves. And she also welcomed the area director who has been attending the meeting. The Toastmaster made a good observation on the name of the presiding officer with the double R, and introduced the theme for today. I love the winter, the wedding, and the weight that comes with it. He did involve the audience, asking them to speak. We have to be very careful on time, because if you're going to involve audience, you cannot control the time that they're going to speak and how much they're going to speak. So when we had to actually start at 7:08, we started at 7:19. I would have loved if you had kept, that's the main thing. We have the agenda, and I always keep saying all main role players must look at the agenda. If you find that somebody has taken more time, reduce the script. We have to sacrifice the script that we have made in the interest of completing the meeting in time. So sacrifice your time, sacrifice your script, ensure that we stick to the time that is allotted to us, right? So the timer gave the report wonderfully, but I would have loved if the timer was called after every section and highlighted. The timer is not here only to keep the time, but to ensure that the meeting completes on time and has the agenda as well. So come in at your time after every section. When you come to give the the timing report for the prepared speeches and tell that we are beyond time by so many minutes. So the table topic master understands that he need not waste time trying to find out, calling for people to take up the topic, and also that he does not go over time. Even if I have prepared 10 topics, I'm not supposed to, again, interest of time. And that's where I say teamwork comes in automatically as one aspect of leadership. Our counter, oh, you haven't gone rusty, I should say. You did come up with a wonderful report and paid great attention. Well done, Ankita, and welcome to the club. Grammarian Nirmala, as usual, great report. And everything that I had put down, I had to tick off because she has already said that. Two things that I would like to say here is one, oh, let me come up to the Toastmaster, the table topic master. He did a good job by just sticking to 2 topics. In the interest of time, 2 topics, and that was nice. Great job done, Sachin. 2 things that I always keep saying, the pronunciation of the article THE. Let's be careful on the pronunciation of the article THE. If it's followed by a vowel sounding word, then say the orange, the apple, but the travel or the car. Secondly, let's avoid TMOD and stuff like that. Let's say it fully as the Toastmaster of the day. And the Toastmaster of the day, in my opinion, the O should be in small. So let's keep to that. Jay, I appreciate your enthusiasm in trying and taking up roles and speeches. You did say that you have 2 mentors to help you with your ISC speech. One very important thing, whenever you are attempting a speech from a project in Pathways, please go through the resources that are there. You have to go through the resources. And once you go through the resources, then they direct you to the videos that are there. Then you understand what is really required to do it. Well, you may or may not have shared this speech with your mentors. If you had done that, it would have been good. They could have also told you that you are not within the objectives of, or it's not, the speech doesn't have not met the objectives of that speech. So you need to be careful. Please read don't just read what is there in what the evaluator has to look at. Read. Before you want to prepare your speech, you must understand and go through the resources. So that is one thing that I would have loved that you had do that in the future. So those were some of the things that we did, I think, but we are improving, and I have to scratch my head to find out if there's anything more that I need to tell, because yes, many of the things being implemented, I'm happy that many of the things that I've already said in the past are being implemented, and I can see the club going great guns. Over to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Arvind, for beautifully conducting the evaluation session. Now, since we are past the agenda time, I would like to raise a motion to extend the meeting by 15 minutes so that we can complete the proceedings.
Yes, I think we should go ahead.
Thank you so much. Since the guests, 2 of our guests are still joined in and are bearing with us through this meeting, I would like to have their feedback first before we move ahead. Sai, I request you in the meantime to prepare the voting polls for the sake of.
It's done. I can launch it now.
Okay. No, we'll have it afterwards. Can we have Ranjini on stage first for her feedback on the meeting?
Thank you, Kunal, for the opportunity. And I really enjoyed the meeting, especially the evaluation sessions. I think that would be of great help to any member who attends a meeting. and we can definitely incorporate all the feedback given to the speakers in our speech as well, and it'll definitely help us to become better communicators in the future. And I thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you for the opportunity.
Great to have you here, Ranjini, and I hope that you enjoyed the evaluation session. Yes, that is our strong point for all elite advanced. We take the evaluations very sportingly, and we do not hesitate in criticizing each other. Now, Ankita, can we hear a few words from you?
Sure. Thank you, Toastmaster Kunal. And thanks to Toastmaster Falgunan for giving me the opportunity of playing the accountable role. I think, honestly, the honest evaluations was a standout. I think if I were to get associated with this club, I see myself growing, and that's what I look forward to. So thank you, and I had a great time.
Thank you so much, Ankita. Thank you so much. And I request both of you to stay a bit further because we will complete in 10 minutes. And it's now time to introduce our guest of honor. I love introducing her because we have so much in similarity. She's also a mechanical engineer like me. She works in L&T right now, and she has the same motto as me as well. If you can believe, you can achieve. She's a mother of 2, and she is a passionate Toastmaster. Her Toast contributions to the Mumbai region is immense. Please welcome on stage our area director of S1, Shriya Jambuka.
Thank you so much, Kunal. Definitely, we find very similar motto. So I just asked him to just keep it for a while, and you can try something else, which I've shared that I love. Cooking, which is very much signature recipe, food recipe for my kids. They love to experiment, and I'm here in a Toastmasters to learn new things from all of you, especially this advanced club visit. Advanced club are primarily made for the experienced Toastmasters who wants to grow rapidly than that those in the typical our Toastmaster, which is basic communications and leaderships, where we are try to understand how to grow in that. But when as we grow in Toastmasters experience, we sometimes want dil mange more, like the need for the greater than frequently involves receiving a strong level of feedback that just we have experienced. It's very strong in it, but definitely kind and candid as well. So that helps improve over a period of time. But when you visit a big advanced Toastmasters club, you ask yourself 2 questions. That is the Toastmaster of the my experience. Am I comfortable with their form of feedback? This is the first question you have to ask. If answer is yes, then definitely go for the next. Will you receive the level of feedback I'm looking for it? If these 2 answers, these questions you have to ask first, and definitely we are welcoming you all for the Advanced Toastmasters Club. And there is one more question comes in the mind. If you join this Advanced Toastmaster Club, should I leave my primary club, or what exactly? That first confusion, any Toastmasters who just join and then want to be part of the Advanced Toastmasters. But definitely you should not leave any club. You should keep adding your dual membership with the Advanced Toastmaster Club. Learn from Advanced Toastmasters Club and take that learning to your basic, to the new members or the primary club members. So that helps you, the advanced clubs in all. The more you speak, the more you love. That is a mantra which I am learning over a period of time. Last 2 years in a Toastmasters, started with the guest member, then the buddy to the common member, then buddy to the VP education, VP membership, club president, and area director. The advanced Toastmaster definitely helped me to grow as being a part of this the great evaluation round which I'm listening to last 120 minutes or more. But it definitely helped me to grow as a leader and a communicator over a period of time, and I'm keep going, learning from you all, keep doing great things for the Toastmaster fraternity over a period of time. I will definitely come up with the good, rather than communicator. I don't want to be a TEDx speaker, but if I can express myself express my creative idea to my listeners or my kids, and they can listen to me. First is the motto is my kids should listen to me, what I'm mother saying to betterment for their life, to how they can achieve. So with this note, I'm thank you. I'm being a part of this club meeting, and I'm glad there are 2 new members and expressed willing to join the Advanced Toastmaster Club. Not taking too much time, and with the allotted time, the 5 minutes, I'm hoping I'm within time limits. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Kunal.
Thank you so much, Shreya. And no, it was lovely listening to you. You would not have noticed the time. But thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. And I hope your visit was very successful indeed. I would now like to ask, request Sai to launch the polls quickly so we can have the votings. Thank you so much, Sai. Let's all vote quickly. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions to answer.
Did you launch the poll?
Yes, it is
I didn't
launched.
get it. I didn't get it.
At the bottom, you can maybe click on the polls. It will be visible, or is it not?
Nope.
Okay. You can maybe just message your preferences to Sai, if you remember. I don't know, it should be visible to you, Sapna.
No, sometimes when your connection is breaking, then the polls get disappear.
Yes. So
Zoom
maybe
does-
Sai, there's a tie, you can ask Sapna for a tie-breaking vote.
Zoom doesn't know whether Sapna is still in the meeting or she has left. That's why there is no poll.
Now the thing is that I have to tell Sai if I'm voting for myself as an evaluator.
You speak to yourself, and voting for yourself is only one part of it. I'm still waiting for 3 more votes to come. I think one of them is probably Sapna, but 2 more votes.
In the meantime, let's all switch on our videos, all of those who are done with voting, and let's have a group screenshot so that my VPPR can take a nice photo. Sachin, if you are here and you can hear us.
All right, one with the heart reactions. All right, thank you, everyone.
So much. Sai, I request to quickly relay the results to Nirmala ma'am. And in the meantime, I'll just quickly conclude my theme, even though I didn't get a lot of time to speak on it. But in winter, I have made a new best friend, my mini heater, and I sleep with him every day. I have a heater in my room by default, but it is not enough for me. I don't know why, because maybe I'm not accustomed to this climate, but this is my new best friend. And with that note, I would like to hand over the stage back to Nirmala.
Thank you, Kunal. Are the results up there? Sai, you can't see them.
I will be sending you, yeah.
Let me send them to you and Akshay. Give me 1 second.
All right, no worries. So we won't take too much of time now. Once voting is done, we will close the meeting. Anybody have any questions, anything pertaining to joining, please reach out to the person who has brought you here.
Sai, I hope you would have seen the chat box.
Are you talking to me, Prachi?
No, Sai.
Sai.
I have sent a message to him in chat.
Have you all received your pins? I just want to know that. Members?
Yes, I did. My 1 pin is with you, right? I think for last year. Something is there with you, certificate.
Certificate.
How many pins do you want, Sapna?
Dude, I was ideally supposed to get 2. One is already lying. So I'm like, I'm an annual renewal always.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
look at that.
we have the votes. Can I announce them? We will take this conversation offline after.
Let me send them to Akshay to prepare the certificates. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So if anyone has not received pins, keep us in the loop.
Yeah.
Stop recording.
Is the pin only for chartered members or anybody who has renewed?
Anyone who's renewed for
All
annual,
Yeah, it is
annual renewal,
all
it's
the
for them.
annual renewals. Atul, you
Yeah,
have done the annual
so-
renewals, so you
You
would
should
have
Yes,